Thank you. Item number 1 on the agenda today is presentation of Tourism Customer Service Award. Tina Henry. Please come to the mic.
Hello. Okay, so shortly after I was promoted, I decided I wanted to do something different and start another committee. Yay! But as most people know, my department is funded through our transient room tax and restaurant tax, so that comes from our hotels and restaurants. And I really wanted to work closer with the hotel managers and staff and the restaurant staff. So we put together this hospitality committee, and the goal of that is to encourage better customer service, helping their frontline ambassadors learn more about the area and just be able to have that awesome experience for our visitors. So, and we do that through training and different things and helping to promote local business. So as part of that, I really wanted to do something to recognize those special ambassadors in our area. And so we came up with the idea of having a customer service award where the community would nominate this person. And it started off a little bit slow. We were trying to figure out all the kinks of how are we gonna pick that first person? We're gonna look at, TripAdvisor reviews, or how we're gonna do that. And then it just so happened that one day when I came to work, one of the fellow employees here came up to me and said, so what are you doing in tourism with the hotels? And so I explained to her a little bit about the committee and what we did. And so then she said, well, my family had a horrible experience and a good experience this weekend. And she shared that with me. And so that's when I just said, that's the first person that we're gonna nominate. And I took it to our committee, and our committee agreed and voted. So I'll just read really quickly. The short version of events was after having one of the worst experiences ever at another business. 2 of my family members went into the Greenwell to reserve a room for the night after this experience. Both of my family members were visibly upset by the time that they reached the hotel. Jenny was the girl working the front desk. She was very polite and apologized for the way that they were treated elsewhere. She said it made her sad that a member of our community had treated them in the manner that they did. After she checked them into their room, she called their room to then check on them and make sure everything was all right and to see if there was anything that they needed. She made them feel very welcome and let them know that she appreciated having the opportunity to serve them. I think this is a great example of what we need in our local hotels to help bring repeat tourists. So with that being said, I want to present our first customer service award to Jenny Taylor. She works at the Greenwell Inn. So it just says on here, this certificate is awarded to Jenny Taylor for being an outstanding professional and providing excellent customer service. She gets this award and a $50 visa. Oh, thank you. So thank you. Is there anything you want to say?
Jenny, I would just like to say thank you. I know there's a lot of people that come from outside the area here to stay, and you're kind of the face of Carbon County, and job well done, so thank you.
Roger Brooks said we'll get visitors to our community at least once. What brings them back are people like you, so thank you, appreciate that. Item number 2 on the agenda, approval of minutes. We have one set of minutes from February 6th. Commissioners, do we have any changes, or Christian, do you have any?
I gave some changes to Lori that I put on her chair, and so I think she saw mine. Mine were all just minor changes, nothing substantive. So
okay. Any other changes?
I don't have any.
I don't. No.
I'll make the motion. We accept the minutes.
I'll second that.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item number 3, discussion and possible approval of sale of personal property, metal buildings on parcels 21A 2A 1076-0007 and 2A-1031-033F to Coal Energy Group 3 LLC. Christian, do you want to kind of introduce this?
Sure, Commissioners. And I'm not sure if the buildings are actually on both those parcels. They may just be on the 2A 107607 parcel.
I was looking with Julie, and I believe the one parcel is the BLM property, and the other one is just the buildings. So we're just selling the buildings.
That's right. And so this is a proposed sale of some metal buildings that the county has come into the possession of. After the county took these buildings at a tax sale after trying to collect taxes for many years from the previous occupier of the BLM property on which these buildings sit. They offered them for sale to the public at the May 2017 tax sale. There were no bidders for the on those at that time. County tried a couple of other times to sell those and didn't finish a sale ever. Coal Energy Group 3 LLC is an entity that intends to use those buildings on site and use those buildings where they lie in conjunction with the rest of their operation. And so if you were to agree to sell those buildings to them, it's my understanding Coal Energy Group would just use them on site, use them for their own operation. They wouldn't have to they wouldn't have to tear them down and move them. They could be used right there, and they intend to use them in a manner that fits with their other lease nearby, and use them in a way that will contribute immediately to coal mining operations and economic development opportunities here in Carbon County. But because this property is owned by the county, you have to determine whether you wish to sell it. An offer has been made by them to sell it to purchase that building from the county for $25,000. That would cover the taxes that we're owing on that, plus some of the interest on those taxes. And so it lets you get rid of those buildings, lets them be assessed again, and lets you recoup your taxes on that, as well as contribute to possibly some economic development in this area. So it's my legal opinion that you have the authority to sell those buildings. The BLM has previously, in an email sent by their former realty specialist, Connie Lashin, has disavowed their ownership of those buildings, so I don't think there's any concern there. In any event, the access to the buildings would be subject to the owners being able to secure access to the buildings through the BLM, because the buildings are on BLM property, so the county can't guarantee that will happen. That will have to be worked out with the BLM. But assuming they can, then I see no reason why the county can't sell those buildings and collect that money and be made whole from the taxes that we're missing.
That's great. Do we want to hear from Larry?
Sure. Larry, do you have anything? Please state your name for the record, and then.
My name's Larry Johnson. I'm a native of Carbon County. I've lived here most of my life, although I don't live here now. I represent the Coal Energy Group. We have Coal Energy Group 2, which we have acquired the Wildcat loadout. And we have Coal Energy Group 3, which we plan on putting a mine up in Schofield, just north of Schofield. It'll be called the Kenny 2 mine. We have already gone through a sublease with the county, and we will be mining county coal, and the royalties will be going to the county. This fit with, these facilities are right next to the Wildcat mine, and it fits very well with our operation, our operational plan. We do have to secure that land underneath it with the BLM. The BLM is supportive of having us take care of that land and acquire that as a lease. We do have to put up a bond. That bond will be secured with the BLM, and we don't plan on moving those facilities at all. It just fits real well for us. If the commission would allow us to use that property, use those buildings or buy those buildings from you, It will help economic development along with Wildcat and the Kenny Mine. We plan on being in production in the next 3 or 4 months. And the Wildcat loadout, we'll be setting that up and getting it ready to load the coal and put it out on the rail. We have commitments already for our coal. And so we're looking forward to being part of the Carbon County community and helping along with the economy and employment here. Thanks, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything-
Christian, do we have the right, we only have one parcel then that we're considering named?
That's my understanding, yeah. It actually should only be the metal buildings on parcel 2A-1076-0007, just on that one parcel. But that does include the 2 buildings that have been in discussion all this time.
Well, I'd make a motion that we accept the offer from the Coal Energy Group 3 to buy the metal buildings on parcel 1076-0007.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Commissioners, and that would be for the amount of $25,000, correct?
Yes, I'll amend my amendment, yeah, for the amount of $25,000.
I second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. I think this will be a great thing for our community. We appreciate you coming in here and opening up shop. Item number 4 on the agenda, consideration of possible approval of an amendment to the Carbon County Volunteer Policy. Rose Barnes, we had discussed our employment attorney won't be able to make it down today. He was scared for the because of the weather that's coming in. So we're actually, commissioners, if you're okay with this, we can table this till the next meeting.
Do you need a motion?
We probably ought to.
I'll make the motion, we table it till our next meeting.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's tabled. Jeannie, will you make sure that gets on the next agenda? Thank you. Item number 5, consideration of possible approval of a contract for a part-time attorney services. Item number 5.
Commissioners, this is a contract for legal services to hire Gene Straight, who has been the county attorney previously. He would contract with the county to do some part-time work during the rest of the year. That amount of compensation would not exceed $16,000 over the course of the year. He would provide services not to exceed on the average of about 10 hours a week. He has a lot of expertise, of course, many years of working in the county attorney's office and being the county attorney, so he would help with screening cases as well as handling certain matters and possibly appearing in court where needed. And because of the increase and influx of cases, we could certainly use his help from time to time. So this would allow us to use him to help process our felony load primarily. The other thing I wanted to point out is that this amount, I believe, is budgeted already. It's within the county attorney's office's budget. So just be a specific contract to use him for those services. I did add one provision to the draft you've seen, and that would be that he would be covered under the county's errors and omissions policy for work done through the county attorney's office, so that he'd be covered as an attorney like the rest of us are. And I think that would happen automatically, but we may need to check with our carrier and make sure that that coverage would be available to him.
Christian, one question that I have, because he retired, I don't know if he officially retired with the URS.
He did, and he cannot commence working for the county attorney's office because of that until March 15th. So 60 days have to pass before he can begin to work again.
Okay. I just didn't know if he could, I thought it was a year, and that's why I'm asking that they couldn't go back to work for,
I think he can work now, but he's limited on how much he can make, however,
Okay.
for that next year.
yeah, I just don't want to hurt his retirement, so just. Okay, just so long as
yeah.
he's covered, I don't want his retirement to be, I think it's a great opportunity.
Sure.
He's got tons of experience, so.
I'll make the motion that we approve this contract with Gene Strait to help the attorney's office.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 6, ordinance number 510, confirming the assessment list and levying a revised special tax assessment against certain properties in the Carbon County, Utah Special Tax Assessment Area, number 2015-1, Hilltop Subdivision, for road improvements and related matters. Christian? do you wanna
Commissioners,
cover
we
this?
have Cody Dieter here, who's been our consultant and has helped us procure this bond. He's seated here next to me. We've gone through this and looked at it. This, as you know, the previous amount only authorized the assessment of $700,000, but we do need to be able to assess up to $1 million. So this revised ordinance allows us to do that. The draft you've seen may have a couple errors in it. It erroneously includes 21 parcels, but really there are only 18 parcels. So the amount for each parcel, I believe, is $55,555.56 should be the actual amount. So the list of parcels on Exhibit A will need to be amended. Cody's done that already on his computer. The Exhibit 1 with the legal description of all the affected parcels is actually correct. There are 18 parcels being assessed. So the amount for each parcel should be $55,555 and not the $47,000 that you see in the ordinance. Other than that, though, I've looked at the ordinance. I don't have any problems with it. Assuming you approve it tonight, we're planning on closing that bond and that loan tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, and we've got all the documents ready to do that, and Cody intends to be here to make sure that happens as well. And that would be provided through Cache Valley Bank is our lender on this, who's agreed to help us. So we've got a really good rate with them, and so this will be a nice thing. This will allow us to finish that project, and then all the assessments that we receive will be credited towards this specific bond.
Cody, did you have anything else to add?
No, not unless there's any questions that you have.
I don't have any questions.
I don't have any questions either. I'll make the motion that we approve this ordinance number 510, confirming these bonds for the Hilltop subdivision.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 7, presentation of PILT payment from the Utah Division of Wildlife. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm Chris Wood. Also with me here is Makita Hansen. I'm the regional supervisor for the southeastern region for the Utah Division of Wildlife Resources. Makita is our habitat program manager. And so if you have any questions specifically about our lands and our properties, I brought her along. Maybe she could answer those. But I come once a year about this time and deliver our PILT payment. PILT stands for Payment in Lieu of Tax. And so I'm here today to deliver that. We own property in Carbon County, and so that's what we're paying our PILT payment on. The PILT check this year is for $9,239.57. And we own about 23,000 acres of land here in Carbon County. There are primarily 3 main properties: our Gordon Creek Wildlife Management Area, also called Consumers, our Lower Fish Creek Wildlife Management Area, and then our Cold Spring Wildlife Management Area. Cold Spring is on the Tavaputs and Lower Fish Creek, of course, is below the Schofield Dam there. The property that we own is for public use. We bought it with sportsman dollars, most of it. Most of the revenue that we bring in as an agency comes from sportsmen, either from licensed dollars or from taxes on hunting and fishing equipment, and that's how our agency is funded. And the check that I delivered today is that money comes from sportsmen as well. And so we manage our properties for the sportsmen of Utah, for Carbon County. We know that Utahns and Carbon County residents in particular love mule deer, they love elk, they love getting outdoors, they love recreating out here in this beautiful county. And so with that in mind, we manage these lands for them. We appreciate the partnerships we have with the county and with the other agencies in this area. We do a lot of work with the BLM and the Forest Service on habitat restoration projects. We work with the county on our community fishery projects. We have 3 community fisheries here, the Night Ideal Pond, the Carbon County Fishery, and then the Giatti Pond as well. And so we appreciate the partnership and the support the county gives us. I guess that's all I really have, and I can answer any questions you might have also. Maybe I'll say in regard to restoration work, we appreciate working with the county and other partners on an example of one of our restoration projects is the Helper project here, the Price River Revitalization Project. And so we've been a partner on that, and we appreciate all the other partners who've come to the table to enhance that stretch of river. So. And then, of course, we do many other projects on winter ranges, on uplands, and aspen areas just to improve habitat for wildlife. And so we manage our property the same way, and we take pride in the way we manage the property, and we do it for wildlife. So, and if you have any questions, I can try to answer them, or I can bring Makita up as well.
I don't have any.
No, not a question, but comment. I appreciate what you do. Hopefully there's a lot of hunters and sportsmen out there that keep buying licenses and keep you busy. So
there are. We see that other states, their hunting numbers are going down. In Utah, hunting numbers keep going up. We're passing on that tradition. So it's a great, it funds our agency, but also it carries on that tradition of hunting and fishing that we value so greatly.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you know who the money man is. Item number 8 on the agenda, consideration and possible appointment to Sheriff's Merit Commission to fill 1 vacancy. We received no applicants for this, and so we're re-advertising. We actually have 2 positions open for the Sheriff's Merit Board. So if you know of anybody that would do a good job and help out the Sheriff's Merit Board, we are looking for 2 applicants to fill vacancies filled by people who've left the community. Item number 9, possible closed session to authorization of sheriffs to apply for grant with Utah Commission on Criminal and Juvenile Justice.
I don't think we need to be in closed session. So the Sheriff's Office over the past, it's been about 6 months, has been in the process of developing the K-9 program back. We had a K-9 years ago. We lost our K-9, and in our area there were other K-9s available. However, those dogs have grown old and passed away, and those programs have been lost as well. So we felt the need to start a K-9 project. So we started out with a donated dog that now lives at my house because it couldn't pass the required things to be a drug dog. So we ended up discovering we needed to purchase a dog, so we purchased one. We reached out to the community and asked for donations, and they paid for about 1/3 of what the dog cost. But we still owe about $3,600 on the dog. So we found this grant opportunity to pay for the dog, and it's what it is. It's the CCJJ grant. It comes from monies that are seized throughout the state for drug seizures, and we are eligible to take part in some of that because we have given some of that money in seizures in the past from us. So we wanted the opportunity. So we contacted them. They said yes, they'd be happy to grant us the money. So that's the process that we're in. We just have to get your approval to apply for the grant. It comes with no requirements from us. They will give us the $3,600. We don't have to do anything else with it. So it seems like a pretty good deal.
I can only imagine the dogs. You only have a third of it, right? So
Yeah.
is the other
Yeah.
2/3 somewhere else?
It's, yes, it's an amazing dog. Even a third of a dog, it's better than the first dog.
So is the dog already trained? Is it?
It is.
It's gone through school,
It
knows what to
graduates
smell.
next week from its school, and the handler's already done. The handler went through the first time. So we have our handler trained. I believe we paid the handler's travel expenses, all we had to pay for that. And the dog, the same thing. It doesn't cost anything to do that. So it's pretty amazing. I'll have them come and give you a demonstration. This dog is an amazing dog. We had specific criteria for what we wanted as well, because part of the sheriff's vision is to be community oriented. I wanted a dog that we could take anywhere, to the schools or to a community event, and I didn't want an aggressive dog. So it was actually kind of hard to find a police dog that's not an aggressive dog, but we found one. It looks mean, but it is very, very awesome around people. So, in fact, it jumped in my lap the other day, and I wasn't happy. So, it's a Belgian Malinois.
Okay.
Is what it is. It's a little female. So that's what we're doing.
Any other questions?
Questions? I'll make the motion that we allow you to go after the grant to pay for the dog.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you. We just have one more motion.
Go ahead.
I motion we adjourn.
Buckle up and drive safe. Thank you.